All right, guys, welcome to the Combat Veteran Breakdown. I, as always, am your host, Paul, and I'm here with a very special guest dialing in from the other side of the world, Majorkill. Welcome.
Ooh, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a podcast with a U.S. Army veteran. Did I do the YouTube voice correct?
That was a good YouTube voice. I felt like I was watching a Majorkill video.
Yeah. So what's the first topic of the today we've got?
Oh man. Okay. So I gotta say, I'll just preface this. I like your content as a Warhammer fan, but as a creator, I also really like your content because you do such a good job of being like a knowledge creator, if that makes any sense, right? Like you're not doing stunts, you're not like Jake Pauling it up, right? You're here to like bring knowledge to people. But you've sort of parlayed that into like, you bring in your personality. You've got your Patreon, your Rule 34 Patreon. We'll put the link in the description, maybe. I don't know what Spotify's rules are. It's probably fine. But the Majorkill minis, right? Not Warhammer minis. I just think it's really cool. So I don't know. Do you want to share like your origin story, right? The channel lore origin story, or the Majorkill lore origin story, right?
Yeah, when I was 9 years old, coming out of a theater with my parents down an alleyway. A mugger jumped out and shot my parents, and then I don't know, I fucked a bat, and then here we are. Like it's, but no. So I was like, you know, it'd be cool, like, you know, fuck all these careers, like fuck all like this, you know, doing 9 to 5 intern for 3 years, and which I was doing anyway. But that's why I guess I was kind of like had a strong opinion about it. I was like, it would be cool to be a YouTuber. And I was super into Warhammer as a kid when I was like, especially when I was like 10 to 12. But I grew up kind of like in an area, or not necessarily an area, just around a group around of people that, you know, didn't really care about Warhammer. So I wasn't able to, you know, get immersed in the tabletop side. I wasn't able to kind of like have a buddy to paint with who I could like get good. So my old models are like, you know, absolutely hideous. I can't even find them, probably for the best. So it kind of stuck with me as a kid, and then through school I didn't really think too much about it. And then Total War Warhammer 1 came out, which was like that huge renaissance of Warhammer, where like all these people that used to be fans but kind of drifted away from it were pulled back to it because it was such an awesome game. And then it was actually a Total War Warhammer 1 lore video which popped off initially, and that was like the proof of concept. That kind of meant, okay, this works. I drilled down, and then it just kind of kept growing and growing from there. But I would say that the thing that sets me apart from other channels that are like, okay, like we've been doing Warhammer lore for 4 years before you started, and now suddenly you've got, you know, triple our subscribers. Like, what the fuck's up with that? It's because I love what I do, but what I do, it's a business, it's a company, there's benchmarks, there's profit margins, there's all these things. So by me thinking I need to make this succeed, and if it succeeds financially, the other way around, if it succeeds, you know, just in general, it'll also succeed financially, and it'll also succeed in all these other ways. So, and when you're doing this full time, if you were to, let's say, do like 9 to 6 every day, just making content, you could genuinely bust out 2 videos a day if you just no-lifed it. But obviously you don't really want to do that. You burn out or whatever. So instead, you direct that time and energy into other things, other innovative ways to, you know, grow your channel, make your channel more attractive, and then monetize your channel as well. So, yeah, there's the short answer.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. Because it's one of the things that, I mean, I guess last month went full time as a creator, and it's funny to me how I really thought, even when I was doing it part-time and I was like, oh, this is like a little extra money, once I'm doing it full-time, you find yourself asking those questions like, okay, how can I grow to the next level? And, you know, it becomes a business. Yeah, you're like signing contracts. I have an accountant now. I'm like, this is, but if you have that mentality, like I think the growth definitely comes. So like, were there metrics that you had in mind? So like you were a kid and you were like, I really think I can do YouTube full time. Or was there a point where you were like, oh, this hobby, I can actually turn it into like a business?
Yeah, I think the second one. So I was, I think 18 when I started the channel or something. If you go back to my old videos, you can definitely hear it in my voice. But yeah, I I was working full time and then doing the YouTube on top of that out of school because I couldn't be bothered going to uni. I thought it was a waste of time. So I was doing full time digital marketing intern, and then when I'd get home, do my gym or whatever, and then I would just try and like make videos and research Warhammer and stuff. And I had a bit of catch up to play because I obviously had taken a break from the hobby for since I was 12 to 18. In that time I hadn't been reading Warhammer lore. I'd just been kind of doing other shit. So you'll notice in a lot of my early videos, they're not like the most well-researched videos ever. So I've been like kind of learning as I've been growing to a point now where I'm like, okay, like, I've read thousands of hours of Warhammer lore. I've read like all these books and stuff. Like I'm finally kind of there. But yeah, definitely at the start I wasn't. But yeah, it was the switch was when it was my third year of working full time. And I was doing my financials. I was like, wait a minute, I'm making the same amount of money from the YouTube than I am my full-time job. And YouTube was like 10 hours a week and my full-time job was like 50 hours a week. So I was like, all right, fuck this. If I just quit my full-time job, theoretically, it should. And it did, fortunately, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, I remember having that same revelation in a month, and being like, wait, what the hell, man? Like I spend 10 hours a week on these videos. Like how is it making more than my day job? There was even one good month, and some of it's because of taxes, where I actually out-earned my wife, who's a psychiatrist. And I was like, yes, breadwinner. It was December, right? When ad rates were like through the roof and sponsors were just like throwing.
For Christmas, it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I also did not know about the seasonality. So like in January, I was like, where's all the ad rates?
Yeah. Yeah, it's people think it's it's like, one view equals 0.01 cent or something. It is not like that at all. It is so dependent on your audience. Like I've got some friends that they're photographer YouTubers, quite successful. Like one of them's, got over 1 million subscribers. And in ad revenue, even if they get triple my views in a month, their ad revenue will be like 1/5 of mine because they've got the majority of their audience in India. So advertisers don't want to pay for, young Indians. They don't. That's not a good demographic because they don't buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to buy like hectic shit from America to get shipped over. So whereas my audience, which is 16 to 34-year-old male in EU and the US, they're considered like a key demographic. So for someone like me, ad revenue is actually a really powerful part of the income and actually makes up quite a lot of it. But I know for others, they have to completely find a different way to make money because that's just a dead end for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been weird. Like I listened to a fair amount of like finance creator podcasts, and apparently if finance demographics are like probably probably 10 times even what we see as because I'm in the same demographic, right? 18 to 34-year-old men in the US, EU, and Europe. But yeah, it's bananas just to see how powerful the algorithm is, that it can identify like such, not just like the types of people, but like I said, like I think Warhammer fans, right? They have disposable income because it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
So even if you're like if that's, you've already separated, Games Workshop has already separated them from some money, right? So advertisers are probably like, yeah, we can get more.
Yeah, no, I would say the same. But yeah, about what you said, because I think my audience is roughly like the CPM of like $4, and I know that a business channel or a finance channel, they can get like $10 to $12 CPM, which is crazy because they get like they get 10,000 views, which isn't, you know, a crazy amount. That's like over $100 US, which is pretty good. If you're doing that every day, getting just a little 10,000 views per day, you're making, you know, a full wage, a genuine wage just off that. So then those guys get bigger channels with like 1 million views, and suddenly they're just absolutely rolling in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm part of a private YouTube Discord just for like partnered YouTubers. And there's a couple of guys on there who are like, yeah, I'm a full-time creator. And like you said, they would have like 10K views per video and they're doing like 2 or 3 videos a week. And I'm just like, this math doesn't make sense. And then I realized they were like crypto YouTubers. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's interesting. There's a huge range, like, because you only need, you know, there's a base level before you can, you know, you can live off your YouTube income. And then I think people don't really quite understand the whole, how wide of a range it is. They'll just see the sub count and they think one sub equals $1 or something, which is just not the case at all.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of creators that you're like, okay, you got 3 million subs, but you're not even pulling 100,000 views a video. And you're like, okay, like maybe you've just been around a long time, made a lot of content, maybe you had different content. But yeah, it's interesting that advertisers are starting to catch on, like, okay, like the sub count doesn't really matter. It's about the views you can get.
Yeah, when influencer marketing first became a thing, it was like there would have been so much money just flushed down the toilet. Like, I know for a fact when I was working at my full-time job, we did a campaign where we reached out to like 50 different influencers, and we basically gave them, you know, X amount of money, and we gave them a barcode and a landing page. And we said, do a Instagram post and an Instagram story, direct them to scan the barcode, we'll see what happens. I think there was like, out of the 50, I think there was like maybe 3 of them that netted a really powerful, strong result. And the rest of them was like, just shocking. And so it's interesting to see how the right influencer for the right campaign is a great idea. You'll make bulk cash, everyone's going to be laughing, but unless you do your research, unless you actually pick the right one, it's just the biggest waste of time and money ever. Like sometimes people reach out to me, they're like, hey, do you want to promote this product? And I'm like, no, because I know it won't get a good result and I'm just going to feel bad about it.
Yeah, that's funny. I wish more advertisers, honestly, and maybe I should just ask for it, but I wish more of them shared conversion rates. Like some do, but then some don't. And it's just like, okay, like, did we convert a lot? Like sometimes they come back and I'm like, okay, must have done well, but I'm like, what's well? Right. But they probably don't want to necessarily like hand that out, because if you know what you made them, then you can ask for more, you know?
Yeah. I think that might be my general vibe is, if they come back and they want to renew, which I'm fortunate that I think most of the time they do, then you're like, okay, I guess I got them a pretty acceptable result.
Yeah, and it's like if you're happy with what they got, and sometimes I think too, it's like brand awareness, right? Like even if they don't convert on your ad, it's like if they get hit with 2 or 3 influencers or 2 or 3 creators that they follow, and then they convert down the line, how do you quantify that?
Yeah, for sure.
So what did your parents think when you were like, I'm gonna make videos for a living?
I was doing it on the side. They thought it was like cool as like the side hobby I was doing. They're like, oh yeah, no shit. Like when we went out to when I hit 10,000 subs, which is, you know, I guess a huge milestone, not in terms of total number, but in terms of just like proof of concept. Like I was saying before, like look, if you can get 10,000 subs, you can get 100,000. If you can get 100,000, you can get 1 million. You know, at like eventually. So they actually took me out to like a really nice, expensive dinner, like at Crown Casino, which is this lovely place, and we had like champagne and stuff. And even though that was so small to where I am now, it meant, I guess, almost the most. It's like, so you understand, but so they thought it was cool, and then when I was gonna make the change, they were kind of like, oh yeah, like go for it. They thought I was going to wait a bit longer. They were like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about it. And they're like, okay. And then 2 days later, I handed in my resignation. They're like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, I thought about it. So,
I mean, that's good. 2 days.
Well, yeah, they're super proud of it because it's at the end of the day, it's I've built this thing. It's a registered company, like you said. I've got an accountant now. I've got all these projects. I've worked with all these people. I've sunken money into all these Warhammer artists, these animators. So you know, I feel like it's just been like a positive thing all round. What I've done, and they're proud of me.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool because this is like a new. I mean, this is like a new economy, and this is a new like niche to occupy. So yeah, like initially, I remember my parents, and I think it hit a little different in both good and bad ways when I told them because one, like I'm 35, right? They know they're like, I'm not going to do something stupid, right? Like, I'm not going to be
Yeah,
like, I'm going to drop out and become a rock star. I mean, like, you should learn to play guitar first, So they
yeah,
were like, okay, like, this can't be that crackpot because Paul's doing it. But I remember my mom just being like, what exactly is your relationship to like YouTube as a company? Which was actually, I think, like a fair question if you don't know. And even if you are a creator that gets big and doesn't understand, like, okay, how exactly does YouTube pay you? What is your payout rate? Like, what other ways can you monetize? But yeah, I remember they were like a little skeptical, I'd say. A little skeptical. It was kind of like when you're a kid and you're playing video games and you're trying to explain to your mom what you're doing, and your mom is like, I'm glad you're having fun, honey. I don't understand anything you just told me.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it's interesting.
I guess I feel the same about TikTok creators up and coming. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Because the YouTube, I guess it kind of makes sense. You got the 10 minutes. In the 10 minutes, you got ads play. You got your sponsored segment. You can promote shit. TikTok, you can't really. Well, I don't know. I don't use TikTok because I'm not like depressed or anything. But that's you can't really put in sponsored segments and ads into short form content. People will click away and you'll get punished. And then I was talking to, Wes Hammer. Have you heard of Wes Hammer?
The name is sort of
Um,
familiar.
so he's a huge Warhammer TikToker. He's got over 700,000 followers, and he's recently moved to YouTube, and he's reposting all of his TikToks as YouTube Shorts. And
Mm,
in 1 month, he's gained over 200,000 subscribers.
wow.
So it's pretty bonkers. He's been like messaging me and shit. We've been chatting, and I was curious. I was like, how does the business model look like with TikTok? On paper you've got over double my followers. You're getting quadruple my views, all this short form content. But he was saying, he's like, yeah, look, they just don't pay like much. It's like, look, like there's with YouTube, one video might have 3 ads. With TikTok, 20 videos might only have 1 ad in between. So it's like that 1 ad's been like, it doesn't even go to the creator. TikTok has to pay them manually as some kind of partner program. And it's not a whole lot. So it's interesting to see how, like we're saying before, the numbers don't always matter in terms of like who's got the highest kind of count. But he might be a good one to talk to. He's like the new kid on the block, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be really fun actually to talk to like somebody who got big on TikTok. Because what was I listening to? Some other, I don't know. I've been on a podcast binge, but there's somebody who was, it was an article profiling a TikToker house. And I was like shocked at the fact that like a lot of these people are just like, you come up as a 16-year-old kid dancing in your living room in Des Moines. Some like scuzzy management company kind of brings you in and is like, oh, we'll put you up in this TikToker house. And they like make content for a year and then the algorithm moves on and they're back in Des Moines, like having
Yeah.
made a bunch of money, but the management took a cut. They paid rent on the LA house
Uh,
and they're like back to broke. And the smarter ones are always the ones who seem to always say like, I need to be off TikTok like as fast as possible, or like I need to convert my audience to other streams as fast as possible because
yeah, that's what West Ham is doing. He's like, I need to get the fuck off TikTok. Like, not, I guess not off it, but he's like, yeah, like I feel like I'm fighting against time. I need to get onto YouTube. I need to get long form content pumping, and then I can actually like actually live off it. Because yeah, I wanted, because you make a good point about how there's this huge kind of mental thing, almost like a mental illness with YouTubers where once they've passed kind of like their peak and it's just downhill, dude, they get so depressed. And I've seen it with a few Warhammer YouTubers, and it's just, yeah, like, what's your experience with that? Like when someone, they feel like they've blown up, they're growing, they're killing it, and then, you know, they don't innovate, or people move on, or they lose their special sauce and people move on, and they're left there with, you know, 100,000 subscribers and barely any of them view. Have you seen that? Have you heard of that?
I mean, I haven't. I've seen some YouTubers that appears to have been their trajectory. I don't know them personally, so I don't want to like call them out on the podcast. I will tell you, like, that is, I'm not gonna say it's a fear of mine, but there's an old myth. I think it's a myth. I don't think it's true. But in ancient Rome, right, when a general would come back and he'd march through the you know, triumphal arch with like his prisoners and his legions, and they would have somebody follow him around and just be like, all this is temporary, man. All this is temporary. Just like keep your head on your shoulders, big guy. And I always kind of like that, because I always try to like keep that voice there to be like, listen, dude, you're a media player, and like the media space changes all the time. And like, if you're not working on the next thing, you'll get left behind. And the truth is, like, like, this isn't gonna last forever. Whatever this is will be replaced with the metaverse or super TikTok or something we can't even conceive of. And so to me, the question is always like, I don't want to say make as much money now as possible, but like enjoy it while it lasts. You know, I told my coworkers when I quit, I'm like, I'm looking at this like being drafted into the NFL or like, you know, the Premier League, where you're like, maybe I'll get 1 or 2 seasons and then I'll blow out my ACL and I'll have a cool story about the time I was a full-time YouTuber. Or maybe I'll be a 20-season vet making millions. And it's like, I'm just going to go in and go all in and do what I can. And then the other side is I'm trying to position myself in a way that if I don't, like, if the brand or the, you know, combat veteran paw brand sort of like diminishes, that I've got other sources of income set up. You know, I'm looking at like buying a rental property, launching like some of my own sort of products that I think can sell on their own without me. So that's sort of my mentality. It's just like, don't believe, like, the good times, they never last forever, just like the bad times, you know? So I just try to stay cognizant.
I think your mentality towards it is absolutely ace. That is like the perfect mentality, because there's people that they go in, and I don't want to name names, but if you look on fucking Twitter, you'll see a few creators, you know, every second day, they're like, oh, haha, my views are down, ha ha ha, I want to fucking shoot myself. Like, if you read between the lines, that's what it is. And because they've gone in with no plan B, they've gone in, oh, wow, I'm suddenly getting views and stuff, and they don't consider, okay, what happens if the YouTube was to be deleted tomorrow? Like, what the fuck would I do? And it sucks to think about, but it's, you know, or not even deleted, just becomes irrelevant. And it sucks to think about, but you have to, because when it does happen and you're not prepared, you're just going to get depressed, and you won't have any fail safes, you know, positioned. Like, I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to diversify my income as much as possible, so that, you know, if I was banned from YouTube overnight, I'd be like, okay, I've still got the Patreon for a little while where I deal with that. You know, I can kind of move the mini business more to its own contained entity, and you use paid marketing to keep selling. So yeah, I think that's like the best mentality that I wish more people had, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, actually, my wife and I are fans of this guy, Spencer Cornelia, who does like exposing like scams, like crypto scams and stuff. But he also talks a lot about, and really transparently about, his finances as a YouTuber. And he, is just like, again, he's also a real estate guy, and he was a real estate guy before. And he's like, listen, this money's great. Like, I've got it while I got it. He's like, I just want to put it places where it's going to make more money. because yeah, he has that mentality of just like, yeah, it could go away at any time for any reason. You know, he could get sued, right? Games Workshop could decide that they're tired of seeing their properties on YouTube full stop. You know, the algorithm could be like, hey man, you use too much of existing content and we're just demonetizing everything. So it's a risk I think every creator runs. So you talked about the minis, you talked about the Patreon. Is there other stuff where you're like, in the future you want to diversify into?
At the moment, I'm not really thinking about bringing another element in to the already, because I've got my, I guess, my direct YouTube income, I've got my Patreon, I've got the minis, and then I got sponsors that are kind of tied into the direct. So they're my 4 sources. I want to develop the minis and the Patreon more. So that I'm actually in the process of getting a new website developed. And I'm actually turning the Majorkill website. Well, I'm going to keep the Majorkill website. I'm going to make an entire subsidiary company just for the minis. The website's going to be very much more geared towards, it'll be a lot more compatible with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and it'll actually have places for other creators if they want to get minis made, but they can't be screwed stuff like, buying 3D printers and becoming a commercial seller. I can host their minis, I can fulfill their mini orders. All they do is pay some guy $500 to create the 3D model, and then I'll do everything else. Because I've got the commercial agreements for sending, I've got the infrastructure, I've got everything. So, if I get 3 creators doing that, and let's say they're pulling in, 100 orders a month, and then I've got my one and I'm doing, 300, 400 orders a month, and then suddenly, you're getting 800 to 1,000 orders a month, which is equating to, a little business making 20 to 40 grand a month as a subsidiary. That's pretty fucking good. And then, like I said, if the YouTube does go kaput, I've got that on the side. I'll be able to grow more, because I'll be like, all right, fuck it, I'll just put all my energy into that. So that's one thing I'm growing. And then there's another thing which I haven't announced yet, but it could be pretty awesome, and it has a lot to do with all this random cosplay shit behind me that I keep spending tons of money on the Philippines for. So
well, it looks pretty cool. Yeah. So all right. Well, now I'm really curious, but obviously don't announce it here, right?
It'll be pretty awesome. It'll be awesome. I'm very excited.
That's cool.
Yeah. It might get me banned, but it'll be so worth it. Like, if I'm gonna go down, that's how I want to go down.
Right. Exactly. And you know what? If sometimes it's like controversy sells, so not that losing your channel would be good, but an appropriate amount of controversy.
Nah, I think it'd be all right. Well, it's no, I won't say anything.
All right.
You'll be the first to know.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, do you want to tell me about your what I guess your relationship with Warhammer is, or why you found it interesting, or how long you've kind of been messing around with it?
So when I started doing YouTube, I was making totally unrelated outdoor camping content, and it never took off. But at one point I became so bothered by the fact that I couldn't make the outdoor content work that initially I was like, oh, I just want to camp and I'll happen to make these YouTube videos. And then after 2 years, I was like, no, I'm going to be successful on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, let me try these breakdowns, this very in-depth breakdown concept, because I have a lot of tactical experience. I have a master's degree in they call national security studies. So I know a lot about a lot. And I initially tried to do content that logic would tell you would be good content for someone like me. So Call of Duty missions, are they realistic? But when I did the breakdown of Astartes, people lost their minds and loved it, or sort of rage watched it, where they're like, no, you don't understand, a space marine's more like a tank than an infantryman, you don't know. And people were just the hardcore fans are wild, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucked. The comment section's always like, well, actually, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up, go play with your little plastic toys, like I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not above deep lore, man. I was a Star Wars kid back in the day. Like, I get wanting to know everything about everything, but sometimes you're like, man, you spent a lot of your day crafting this comment to be really negative, to like try
Yeah.
to roast me, and it's like you can see there's 16,000 other comments there. Like, what did you even? I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't talk too much smack because the engagement's good, but. But yeah, that's actually what got me into the franchise, was the Astartes breakdown. And you know, when everyone's like, you're wrong about everything, you're like, okay, well, let me watch more videos and like learn more, get paid, you know. And yeah, I got really into it. I think the lore is really cool because it's like it's it's not realistic, but the people in it are as real as I've seen people behave in like a science fiction-y franchise. You know, like Star Wars, right? Darth Vader is bad. He's bad because he wears all black and he has a cape and he chokes people, and that makes him bad. And like, he doesn't do anything good because he's a bad guy. And that's how like most fiction franchises are. And it sort of annoys me because in the real world, no one thinks they're a bad guy, right? Everyone in their universe is just like, yes, this is like, I'm the good guy. I'm the hero of this story. And I think Warhammer captures that, and I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I think Warhammer lore is fucking awesome, and it's so good that that's like the topic I guess I ended up landing on, because it's so vast and there's so many characters and there's so many things to talk about that I pretty much have unlimited content. I don't know, like every time I think, oh, I'm out of video ideas, I'll do like a 5 minute brainstorming session. I would have come up with like 6 more ideas. And then you look at, I guess, like Star Wars or Halo channels, and you can tell, man, especially the older ones, they are struggling for lore, because it's like there's a few books, there's the movies, there's the video games they've got, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, like Warhammer's got 10 times more books, it's got all this codex shit, it's got all these things spanning dozens of years with such a heavy focus on the lore. And then, you know, Star Wars and Halo have like a handful of comics, and like, you know, and then Star Wars made like most of their lore not canon. So it would be so frustrating. You can see that these days, like, have you heard of Star Wars theories?
Uh,
Star Wars Theory? I think he's like the biggest Star Wars content creator. Star Wars Theory. He's like 3 million subscribers.
oh wow.
But so he's like pretty big, yeah. But you can see like he's really kind of struggling. Like at 3 million, his views, he's like doesn't often crack 100K that much anymore. And when he does, it's because he's doing topical, relevant content, like reacting to the Book of Boba Fett
Mm,
scene or something. You know what I mean? It's not like diving into past lore that was established 10 years ago. Like everything's so like recent and relevant, which is because it's like that's all he has left. He has to kind of like rely on the setting getting constantly updated and renewed. Whereas with Warhammer, I feel like, you know, a bomb could go up at GW's headquarters and kill everyone tomorrow, and there'd still be like a few more years of videos I could make. Not that sounds a bit dark or something, but you know, let's say if they just ceased, there'd be all this content. But if Star Wars or Halo just suddenly ceased their shit, these channels would be dead within a month. And you see it with Total War channels, a great example. Nothing dies like a Total War dedicated channel. They are literally all of them either dead or borderline dead, and it's like every time there's a release, it's like this like trickles of water coming down this like dry dam, and they're all pushing each other out the way to try and lick the fucking dry riverbed, like because they're just so dependent on releases and content, and that is, in my opinion, the worst position to be in. Because you're like, your success and income is dependent on, it's completely out of your hands almost. So
yeah, it's got to be a terrible position to be in, just to be like I can imagine being a Star Wars lore like YouTuber, and then getting hit with the fact when they're like the whole expanded universe, like 500 plus books, no longer canon. Throw them in the shredder. You're just like,
Yeah,
damn.
that is rough. Yeah, it is a huge L. And I guess they can still make content on them, but yeah, at the end of the day, like, something else I will say is Warhammer fans are so much more dedicated to Warhammer than Star Wars fans are to Star Wars. And my biggest opinion on that is the fact that to be a genuine Warhammer fan, you have to put up like a couple grand on the minis and shit. Like it's fucking expensive as you form a deeper attachment, especially if you paint like a mini. You're like, holy shit! I painted this dude. I like sat down. I could have done something else, but I chose to just like sit down and like paint this little guy. And then you form a bond with it because of the time and money you've spent. And then, you go and you play on tabletop or with him, or you just display him somewhere. And you form a much stronger bond rather than a Star Wars fan. Someone will be like, oh yeah, I love Star Wars. Like, go see the movies in cinema. They spend $20 on a movie ticket for, for 2 hours of viewing. And then like, oh, that's cool. So I think to be a genuine Warhammer fan means a lot more in that regard than to be a Star Wars fan, which I think why, despite, Star Wars being loved by, I guess, 100 times more people, the Star Wars lore channels, they've got bigger audiences, but the views and stuff are comparable to Warhammer lore channels because it's like quality over quantity in terms of audience.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely fascinating the way like you can, if people commit to things, then like if they physically commit to something, they emotionally commit as well. It's like if you commit to painting this little space marine for 6 hours, like you're gonna end up invested in that chapter or that group. Like you just can't help it, right? It's some sort of weird thing that goes on in our brains where like the more you labor for something, the more valuable it becomes to you. So, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So I in my analytics, whenever I do a podcast and whenever I talk about relationships or dating, which is not the focus of my channel, the analytics go nuts, which is problematic because I'm married, right? I have no drama whatsoever, right? We have chickens. We have chicken drama. That's the best I can offer. So if you don't want to talk about it, don't.
No, that's fine. Yeah, no. It's funny. It's not often you go from talking about Warhammer to relationships. They're almost like opposing forces.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, the one like Warhammer fan who has a girlfriend or dates. So okay, what? Okay, are you single? I guess is the.
Oh my god! You ask your own single. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes,
you don't have to answer. I don't want to put you or anyone else on the spot.
It's good. It's good. The 99% of guys watching this, they can know that Majorkill is a single guy, by choice, I guess, at the moment, because I'm young. I'm like for me, I've got like a crazy high standard of someone to date because I dated someone for like a year and a half a couple of years ago. And I did it because I felt like I needed to date someone, and it kind of sucked. And I was like, all right, fuck this. Like, next person I date, genuine path to marriage, which I don't think is like an unreasonable thing. You're like, what's the point of dating something with an expiration date? It just kind of it taints the whole relationship because you're always kind of thinking, all right, when am I done with you? But no, like, yeah, I don't know what questions that come from it, but I get my dick wet a lot, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious because like I didn't make a single YouTube video until I was until after I was dating my wife. So like, how do like women respond when it's like? So I guess do you put that you're a YouTube content creator in like your dating profile? Is that something that comes out later? Is it something you don't like to share because it colors them like positively or negatively? I don't know. What's that like overlap kind of look like?
It actually is like, it is interesting. Like the fact that, because the YouTube is super interesting. Like not many people do it. You bring it up, people are like, wow, that's like, you do YouTube. Like they're genuinely curious. And fortunately in Melbourne where I'm from, people that do it, there's people that do it everywhere, but no one's like really social climbing as much. Like they don't hear, oh, you do YouTube, and then they're like, what can I get out of him? Let's fake it. If they're interested, they're actually kind of interested. They're like, oh, that's a cool thing. Let's talk about that. And I found that when it first started growing, I was almost embarrassed by it because I was like, fuck, like, oh my God, Warhammer, like Warhammer doesn't get the bitches. And the problem is it wasn't Warhammer was the problem. It was the way I would kind of like, if they asked about it, I'd explain it in like a way that as if I was embarrassed when I didn't need to be. So it kind of made them think it was embarrassing because I was embarrassed about talking about it. But now as I kind of grew up, got more mature, got more secure, and like kind of more in love with what I do, it's actually the opposite where they'll be like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, this is my channel. This is what I do. Yeah, it's Warhammer. Have you heard of Warhammer? It's fucking sick. And they're like, oh, is that like the painted things? I'm like, yeah, it's the painted things. Like, and then, yeah, we all talk about it and they love it because it's the energy I give off when I talk about it. But I don't, I've never linked my Instagram to my YouTube. So my Instagram isn't like huge. It's just like a normal size. I don't really like Tinder or Hinge that much. I don't know. If I'm more of like a DM on Instagram kind of guy. I just kind of like slide in, reply to stories, and just like I'll always ask them to drinks like super quick. It'll be like a couple of messages. Hey, do you want to get drinks this week? Because it's like fail fast policy. You either win fast or fail fast. Like just biggest fucking waste of time talking to someone for like 3 weeks. Then you're like, oh my God, should I ask them out for a date? It's like, no, just fucking, you want to see him? Just message him. If they say no, good. You can move on to the next one. If they say yes, awesome. You got a date. So I actually got a date tonight doing that exact strategy. So it's proven.
Nice.
But I think it's all about just confidence and passion. If you're confident and you love what you do and you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't matter what you do. They will also think it's cool and they will like it. It's all about energy.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I again remember I've been with my wife for 6.5, 7 years. So like recent enough that like we met on Tinder. I think from what everyone has said, Tinder has gotten way substantially worse just for everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, I think that there's a lot of just like, there's a lot of weird shit. And I think just like I think people in general, like if you're more secure about who you are and what you're doing, then like they're just going to go with it. Sort of like how you can walk into like, if you have a reflective vest and a ladder, you can walk into any building on Earth. Anyway, people are just like, this dude looks like he's doing hard work. Like, who am I to question him?
Yeah, you know? To stop him, yeah. Yeah, because it does sound like a cop-out to say to people, oh man, just be confident, da da da. And it does sound like a cop-out because it's easy. It's like, oh yeah, why didn't anyone tell me? All right, ready? Confident. You know, it's not how it works. But the reality is, if you kind of just do anything confidently, and not necessarily confidently, but securely, because you know those like I guess those cringy texts people post on Reddit, like look how cringe this is. It's always someone who's like second guessing themselves, you know, and they like vocalize it, and they think by vocalizing all their insecurities, I don't know, the girl will take pity on them or something. But it's like, no, she just thinks you're a fucking weirdo. Like you just go in. And the thing is, if you get rejected, which happens to everyone, take it really well. Be like, no worries at all. Have a lovely one. Da da da. No stress. And then down the track, I almost guarantee that if you're still in contact with them, like 3 months later, a year later, you'll probably find them like riding your dick. I don't know. I found that multiple times where someone who, for whatever reason at the time, zero interest in me, like. I don't usually put myself in a position where I get rejected because I can read body language or I can get the vibe and be like, okay, they're not really into me right now. I'm not going to like lean in or do something weird. But yeah, and then I might bump into them at the beach like 6 months later, have a chat. I don't know, maybe I'm like halfway through my shred with a tan and they're like, oh, this guy looks pretty good. And then bam, like that weekend it's on and I'm just laughing because it's like, this is someone that I knew like no chance with. But I just was kind of like in the back of my head, like, yeah, maybe. I think take an L with grace, read body language. If you don't think they're into you and you're not like retarded, then they're probably not into you at the time. And just go along with it like that. And obviously shave and have good hygiene.
Yeah. Also need to put that in for the
Yeah.
especially is people who are especially committed to painting for 12 hours a day. Like a
Yeah,
shower
just
before you go out goes a long way.
yeah, brush your teeth, because
Yeah,
yeah, bitches love good teeth. But yeah, I don't
indeed.
know. That's my advice on it. That's what I've found. Because
Yeah.
I don't really, yeah,
I mean, I've just noticed. So when I was in the military, right? The military has this. Everything is a dick measuring contest, and it's a function, I think, of the fact that you have a bunch of people. You give them like authority and rank, and guns, and like it's just
and
how it is.
guns.
You just get turned into a dick measuring contest. And I was
Yeah,
always the guy who's just like, listen, man, every friend can do something for me. So like, I wasn't like, you do me a favor, I do you a favor. I was just like, hey, whether I can help you or not, I'm going to do you a solid. I'll help you out as best I can. I'm just like, just goodwill, right? Just put out as much goodwill into the universe as you can. And it always surprised me how much that returned back to me by just being like, even if it's just reputationally, like somebody told somebody who's like, oh yeah, I heard you were a solid dude. I heard you would look out for us. And I'm like, well, you heard right. Like, what do you need?
yeah,
And when you need something, it's like people are climbing over themselves to help you out. And I mean, I think it's a little bit of the same principle you're talking about with dating, where it's like, you know, if you are just classy and put out good vibes through a whole interaction, the it's not karma, right? It's like a real thing, but like it'll circle back around. You're never worse off by having people walk away from dealing with you and having this like positive interaction or positive sense of who you are.
yeah, exactly. I think it's almost like that delayed gratification thing where I think some people, like, if they don't get what they want straight away, they just rage and they just only think of the present and they don't realize the fact that they've blown something that could have easily happened a few months in the future. Because a few months might sound like a while, but I guarantee when those few months pass and then you're getting laid, you won't be mad about it. You'll be like, well, this is happening now because, the future is now the present. So yeah, I think the biggest one is people just need to learn how to read body language and shit. Because like, I feel, yeah, I think people Hail Mary it too much. It's pretty obvious when she's interested in you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely the number of people who like can't read cues. You're always just like, man,
Yeah,
please, like I'm cringing and I just have to watch you from across the bar. Like this is hard. I mean, my wife and I will sometimes when we go out and we'll see people, like a couple together, and we'll try to play like, are they on a first date? How's the date going? Like, and it's funny when you can see one person is like ready to leave from the second they sit down. It's so, I mean, it's both, it's hard to watch, but you can't look away when she's like on her phone. She'll like sit in a way that she's almost like ready to stand up at a moment's notice. Yeah. And almost always the guy is oblivious.
Yeah, that's the thing. As a guy as well, sometimes you also got to be ready to just cut your losses. Just be like, yeah, you have a date. If the girl's fucking sucks on her phone, being rude, sometimes you can just straight up be like, okay, I'm fucking out of here, and just get up, pay the bill or pay your half of the bill and walk out. Huge power play. You'll feel way better doing that than you would just sitting there having the worst date ever and then getting ghosted. Like, if you like, that's it. Sometimes you don't be like a dick about it, but sometimes you just gotta just stand up for yourself and I guess not be a simp. You just kind of gotta be like, fuck this, I'm better than this. I'm not gonna like have this disrespect. Because even if you're not enjoying a date, let's say, like there's a base level of respect. Be like, you know what? I'm not gonna see this person again, but we're here now. We'll have good conversation. We'll enjoy the time. I'll give them, obvious hints and cues that, I'm not super into it, but I'm not going to just be on my phone, like, I don't know, texting some guy that I'm going to go fuck after. Like, so.
Yeah, it's always.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, it's a lot of it is just like insecurity, because I think if you have something about yourself that you are proud of, outside of like dating and getting laid, then like you have the ability to sit there and like take rejection and be like, yeah, of course, like no kidding, right? She wasn't feeling me, or whatever. And if you can, but you have to like be secure in yourself. And I think for a lot of guys, it's like if you're young, you don't have like anything under your belt that you're proud of, that you've accomplished, like, I mean, you're a YouTuber, man, like the dream that most kids aspire to have. I mean, I just even remember coming back from deployment and just being like, man, like, it's like so many dates I would just be like, I want to get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Like, just the amount of, and even just like sometimes guy drama and gym drama, I was like, yo, dude, I don't want to deal with this. And just like my ability to like stand up for myself and just be like, this is not something that I want to be a part of. And just being like, this is a waste of my time. And being secure enough in myself to do that. Like, I remember being like, oh, where did I pick this up? And it's because I had done something else that was really hard,
Yeah, no, you've hit the nail on the head, because I was thinking about the same thing, but I don't really know how to explain it, where I feel like you're secure and mature when your tolerance for taking shit is just super low. Like, you're not going to take people's shit. Like, you're not going to like be like, oh, it's fine. Like, if someone's being like a disrespectful shithead, if someone's wasting your time, if someone's trying to fuck you around, like a less secure, less confident, less mature person would kind of be like, they'd kind of take it because, they don't know how to stand up for themselves, or, let's say their friend's been an asshole, they kind of let it happen because, oh, he's my friend, or, what if I'm scared of, him not wanting to hang out with me, or him not thinking I'm cool. And then I find, now it's just like, if you're being a toxic piece of shit, I'm going to drop you like a sack of potatoes. Like, there was this guy, obviously no names or anything, but this happened super recently. Was a really close friend of mine. Known him for years. We're going out a lot lately, like, silly January, have a lot of fun. And I +1'd him to a party, and he got himself into a really awkward situation. I don't really get much into it, but he felt really humiliated by this joke, I guess, that went kind of wrong. And he was like, I was like, oh, dude, like, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, this happened. I was like, man, don't worry about it. Let's just enjoy our night. And he's like, no, fuck you. Don't dismiss my feelings. Like starts yelling at me. I'm like, whoa, all good, man. Sorry, all good. And I was like, all right, I'll just let it slide. He's pretty fucked up and drunk. I'll give him a chance. And then later in the night, as I was like saying goodbye, he's like, mate, I don't want to see your fucking face. Like, jog on, fuck off. Like that. I was just like, what the fuck? So I was just like, mate, you really need to grow up. And then I said that to him, and he raged even harder. So I went home, and I was just like, this guy's fucking done. Like, delete. And it's sad because, you got a friend from years, but I'm also not going to take that shit. And he'd never apologized. And when I actually bumped into him again at a thing, he was trying to be like, no, you were the abusive one. Like, I was the victim. I was just like, get out of my face before I fucking smack you. Like,
yeah, it's like, okay, if you're the abusive one, then you did him a favor. You removed yourself like from his life, right? Like,
no. Well, he's like, I was like, how was I the abusive one? He's like, oh, you told me to grow up. I'm like, was that before or after you told me to get out of your fucking face and fuck off out of the own party that I +1'd you to? Like, it was ridiculous. But that shit happens. And I noticed that, a younger version of myself would just be like, oh, he's really fun. He takes me to places. I'm gonna swallow it up. I'm gonna apologize, even though I know he was the one that, was this toxic, abusive gaslighter. I'm gonna cop it. But I'm like, fuck that, man. I got way better friends elsewhere. It's like, if you're gonna treat me like that, then you're gone.
Yeah. I had a couple of friends. I mean, I don't even call them friends now. They were like people I would hang out with, and like, I guess I thought they weren't even like cool. I don't know. They were just like friends, that they hung out with. And I remember at one point realizing like they were just sort of, it's hard to explain. They were just like not morally good people. Like one of them tried to harass a family living above him in an apartment, right? So like a small apartment, they obviously had 2 kids, and they would be kids, run around, make noise. Well, he was so mad. He's like, I'm going to try to get them evicted. And I remember being like, I don't want to spend time with you, dude. Like, you're a bad person. And like, yeah, you're right. It's going to be a little inconvenient for our friend group. But I was like, I'm taking this moral stance, dude. Like, you can't be a good person and also try to force a family out onto the street because their kids made noise on a Saturday morning. Like, go pound Sam, buddy. And it was, I don't know if like younger Paul would have been like, oh, let me just let that slide. He's going to do his own thing. Or like talk behind his back and be like, oh, I don't like what Nick did with it, this and that. Now I'm just like, whatever, bro. Like, you know what? You do you, but like, I don't have to waste my time. Like, my time is more valuable than to spend it with someone who I don't think is like a good person, you know?
100%.
Yeah. So, okay, the other topic that I did want to cover is the fitness stuff, right? I saw in one of your videos that you're doing jiu-jitsu now, or how long have you been training?
Yeah, so I've been doing that. I actually got after fucking so many COVID delays, I got my blue belt, I think, the other weekend.
Dude, congrats. That's what's up.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I love it because, I think I guess people watching with jiu-jitsu, they take the belts pretty seriously. It's not like karate where they're like, you get a belt, you know. Fucking, I remember I think I was black belt karate when I left. I still don't know how to throw a proper punch, so...
For context, in jiu-jitsu, the rule of thumb is usually about a decade of steady training to get to a black belt, right? Unless you're like a prodigy of some kind.
And that decade is like, that's even like quick, you know what I mean, for a black belt. Like, you know, you're looking at, some people look at, 15, 20 years, some people more than that. I know the assistant coach of the gym I'm at, and he's like a weapon. And obviously gyms are different with how they give it out, but he's like a murderer assistant coach, really good at jits. And he just got his black belt after 15 years. And I think the blue belt, can take, 2 to 5 years, depending on training, depending on the gym. So it was good. It took me a lot longer because there was the 2-year COVID break in the middle, which sucked because I was supposed to get my blue at my old gym the weekend of lockdown, and then I moved gym like when lockdown ended, and then we were training up for our blue belt, and there was another lockdown because obviously you can't go from lockdown straight into a grading because the grading's hardcore. They beat the fuck out of you, especially the gym I'm at. Mm-hmm. So it was such a fiesta. But I've got it, and it's good. I feel like I've earned it. You know what I mean? Like, I've done tournaments. I've won all the tournaments I've ever done at white belt. So I was like, right, it's time to move on. So it was good. And actually, the first training session as a blue belt, I almost broke my ankle. So
oh shit!
Yeah, I was rolling against his purple belt, and Legend. He's like a cop, and it was a great roll. Like, he submitted me, I submitted him. We're going hard. Last minute, I'm sprawled out on him, but he gets his hand behind my legs and does kind of like a double leg, but because we're already on the ground, my ankle got like left behind as my body folded over it. Oh, it was terrible. And I heard a crack, and I swear I saw it like flick out, like fucking, and I was like, please don't be broken. I'm going to fucking LA in 1 week. I don't want to be walking around in a moon boot. And fortunately, it's just like the mother of all sprains. I'm still got a bit of a limp, but yeah, no, that was my first ever jiu-jitsu injury in all the years I've been doing it. And that's why I think it's important, because like jiu-jitsu, it's pretty not injury prone. I don't know, like, I guess you can get injured, but if you condition yourself, I don't think you will often.
Yeah, so they say in most sports, and I think jiu-jitsu is true to form for this, is the most dangerous time is the first 18 months you do the sport, right? Because you don't know how to safely train it. You can't recognize when you're in danger. Just like submissions, right? There's a lot of times when you're new, just like you don't know when you're about to get submitted or when you're about to get, armbarred or wrist locked or choked. Doubly true with the leg stuff, right? Because it's just it doesn't take much leverage to pop something in a leg.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't.
And so I think if you're young and you're respect the sport for the first 18 months, like the chances of injury, like the chances of like capital I injury, right, drop tremendously. You'll always be sore. You're always going to have one sorest part of your body. I think that's just reality. but the chances of really getting injured like drop, I think, quite a bit. Knock on wood.
You see like probably the worst is probably two white belts that have been training for like a month. So they're not so like tentative. They don't know what the fuck's going on, but they also don't know what the fuck's going on, but they kind of think they do, and they just like kick the shit out of each other, and it's always kind of funny to watch, and it's funny to roll against them because they have no concept of energy conservation or so they're going all out, and you're just like sitting there almost laughing, and they blow their whole load in 30 seconds, and then you just absolutely destroy them, and you're like, this is why, breathe through the nose, breathe out the mouth, like. But our gym's good, my new one. They always go like in free rolls and stuff. They're always like, if you're a new, go against a blue belt or a purple belt. Don't go against some fucking random white belt because you guys are just gonna hurt each other.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's good. My gym's also got a dick. You know how every fight gym's got a dickhead removal policy. The one we've got is if a coach notices a dickhead, he'll get like the youngest, most robust, like blue and purple belts to actually just fucking slam them the whole session. And he's like, 9 times out of 10, they never come back. And the 1 time out of 10, it really humbles them and they end up like pretty good quality.
Yeah, that's funny. The gym enforcement. I think one time I got asked to do like some gym enforcing by a coach, and I didn't even see what the guy did, but I had a black belt. I think I was like a senior blue or like a purple belt at the time, and he was just like, "Hey, Paul, I need you to roll with this white belt, and I need you to go hard." And I was like, I understand the assignment. There's just like bow and arrow chokes, just everything that would give just dramatic mat burn. And it's just like,
I love the bow and arrow. When I hit that in comp, I jizzed my pants. I was like, yes, this is fucking awesome. It's like so much leverage, and you don't even need like a deep grip. You can just kind of hold like pretty low on their lapel, because at the end of the day, if you get the shoulder over their arm and twist, eventually, it'll get them.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've loved kind of like learning my own little submissions and attacks that other people in the class don't know, so that you can kind of whip it out, because obviously everyone kind of learns similar shit at the same time in the classes, so everyone kind of gets used to the passes and stuff. So if you whip out like a new little element that no one knew was coming, you can actually catch like people a lot better than you in it, and then obviously they'll fuck you up next round because they get annoyed that they got done by something sneaky. But no, I love it. It's a game of like really sweaty chess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so much fun, and it's so much fun. I love training with like the same people, because you do get to do that, right? Like they'll learn all of your dumb tricks and they'll develop counters, and then you'll learn all theirs, and then you'll have to develop new tricks to counter them. And it just forces this, like, you end up with these like bananas kind of like evolutions, where it's like, oh, okay, I had a buddy of mine who got the brown belt the same time I did, and we would just like, I could see him work through the John Danaher DVDs, right? Because they would get added to his game like one, DVD chapter at a time. But we just got to the point where our rolls would be like either extremely, extremely fast paced. We would just cycle through all the moves and counters we knew each other was going to do, or they would be almost still, because we were just like, I'm like, if I pass to the left, he's going to try to come on me. If I pass to the right, he's going to push my head over. And I'm just like, I'm like out of good ideas, and I'm even out of bad ideas. So I'm just like, when I don't want him to catch me in the same submission again.
Yeah.
So it's always a lot of fun just to have like, they're almost like conversations sometimes.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that you can go hard and kill this person without throwing a single punch and without receiving a single punch. Because that's the thing. I tried like MMA and boxing for a while. I think I got rocked once or twice. I was like, fuck this. Like, this is just not what I want to do. Like, it's not even from like, it could hurt, because it doesn't hurt. It's like, I just don't want to be like, mentally disabled by 50 because I keep getting punched in the head. Whereas something like Jits is almost more practical, because it's all about control and suppress. If you're in a fight, especially with a drunk guy, you don't want to king hit them and then they die because they hit the concrete. You want to pin them down, put them in a position of, as my coach says, strong negotiation. You got their arm, be like, you need to settle down or I'm going to break your arm. You're in a powerful negotiating position. So yeah, no, I love it. I think it's great. That's all my cardio is all jiu-jitsu and stuff. And then I'll throw in gym as well. Like, so it'll go Monday gym, Tuesday jits, Wednesday gym, Thursday jits, Friday gym, Saturday jits. So I'm always kind of like keeping it together.
Okay, so is that what you do? You do the every other between lifting
Yeah.
and jujitsu?
Yeah, it's good. So I don't have to back up my lifting days, so I can recover from like the heavy shit. And then I also I don't really back up my jits days, so I recover from all the fucking contortion shit. But if I guess I've got a comp or a grading coming up, I'll just do like only jits every day just to really get into that killer mindset.
Yeah. And so have you had to cut weight for any tournaments or competitions yet?
Yes, yeah. I fortunately, this was pre-COVID, so I usually sat around 79 kilos, 80 kilos a few years ago, pre-COVID. And I would cut down to the 77 kilos for the division. It wasn't a bad cut. It was just like, don't pig out for 2 weeks. And then the night before, like, just don't drink water and have a bath. And then weigh in the morning, then drink 2 liters of water. So it wasn't a huge cut or anything. But now my base weight's like 83 because during COVID, no jiu-jitsu, no cardio, I had a home gym. I was just
Man.
bulking so fucking hard. I got to 90 kilos from
Holy
79.
shit.
It was fucked. It was good. I put on all this strength and shit. And then when JIT started, I lost all that excess fat, but now my new base weight was 82, 83 kilos. Because that's just, I guess, the muscle I'd gained. My body was more used to being heavier. So the idea of getting back down to 77 kilos is just not on my cards. I think I'd just be way too fucked. I think I'd lose. I want to just keep putting on muscle. I'll get to 84 kilos at maybe 10% body fat. And I'll just fight in the 77 to 84 weight range.
Yeah,
I'm happy to do that.
I mean, cutting weight for some of these tournaments that are like same day, it's just like, it's too much on your body. And like,
Yeah, you can't do much.
Yeah. So you gotta like, if it's MMA and you get that day prior, different story, right? Like you can recover a lot in 24 hours. But even now, and also like competitions are so frequent, you could compete. I mean, you could compete every weekend if you wanted to. I know pre-COVID, I got it in my mind. I was like, I'm going to compete in 12 tournaments in a year. And I almost pulled it off, right? I opened up a cut over my eye that stopped me for like a month. But yeah, I just remember after like 2, I was like, I will not cut weight for one single tournament. Because I also had 2 or 3 where I didn't really cut, I like dieted down. And then they were like, there weren't enough people in your division. We're going to merge you with the next higher division. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, fuck. Yeah, no, I think, for jits, I think cutting weight is just not something that you should prioritize. Because, I mean, it does help you, because it's all the grappling. But yeah, same day competing, it's regular. And it's not like it's one fight, you're fighting like 5 different guys. So you keep getting that adrenaline dump and charge, which sucks because you get like so fucking nervous and you've been training with the same people for years, so you feel confident. And then suddenly they call your name up and you go on this mat, you look at this guy you've never met before in your life. You're standing up, which is not, the most common starting position for jiu-jitsu. And that guy just wants to fuck you up. And you're like, oh shit. So yeah, because of the adrenaline I got every time I competed, I can't remember a single tournament fight I've ever done. It's all just like blacked out because it's like, I think my body thinks it was trauma or something. But I've won every single fight ever in every tournament. So,
dude, that's awesome.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's only been 2, and then I think it was like 5 or 6 fights per tournament. So I think it might be 11 out of 11. And it was white belt as well. But I was pretty happy with that because I was never like, I was always pretty athletic, but I was never like, one to win a tournament or anything. And especially a tournament of something so like, I guess, physical and technical and shit. So I was pretty happy to win both. But that's when I was like, all right, no more competing till I get my blue because I feel like I'm probably sandbagging at this point if I was to compete again.
Yeah, it's always a weird feeling to like do really well at a division and be like, okay, it's probably time for me to move along. Like I sort of
Yeah.
had that at my purple belt. I did like one of those like pro jiu-jitsu shows. They call them Fight to Win in the States. I don't know if they have them here or in Melbourne, but it's like sort of invite only. They'll usually get like a bunch of like fairly competitive guys from like the local area, and they'll give them matchups, and they'll be sort of like the bottom tier of super fights. But I took some fight against another purple belt, right? Beat him. I was like, yeah. And found out later he was the Masters World bronze medalist last year
Oh
at purple
wow.
belt.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, can we fix this? Like,
Yeah,
who else do I have to
yeah.
beat? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I mean, oh,
there
go
was a
ahead.
guy in my thing, lovely guy who I was competing against, and I fucking flogged him. Like I smashed him. Like it was a submission within like a minute or whatever. And he was a great guy and stuff. And then I saw like I guess like a month later, he got his blue belt at his gym, and he was like, "Oh, this is one of our new assistant coaches. He just got his blue belt." I was kind of laughing. I was like, "Oh, okay." And then it would take me another, I think, year and a half to get my blue, just mainly because of COVID, but also just because like, yeah, just the gym I was at, which just took its time a bit more. Because at the end of the day, a different colored belt doesn't give you, plus 10 stamina or plus 10 strength. It's just a color around your waist. And you will notice that the quality's pretty good, but some gyms I feel like are just a little bit too, they give them out a little too easy, I
Yeah.
think. I don't know. Like the standard, I feel like the standard of blue I'm at right now I reckon I would beat pretty much most other four stripe white belts and new blue belts around, just because I guess the amount of time I spent before getting it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I mean, obviously with some limits, but I think erring on the side of a lot more maturing time, because like the blue to white is a big jump.
That is a big one, yeah. White to blue, definitely, because that's the hump where it's like, what's the statistic? Like 75 to 90% of people who start jiu-jitsu will never get their blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I feel like once you've got your blue belt, it's just like, what else do they say? It's like if you're a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, you can fuck up anyone. Is that like the idea that who's like untrained or who's equivalent of a different martial art or something. So it's a huge sign of competency. Like a blue belt should be revered and respected.
Yeah, and like that represents your gym. Like everywhere else you go, they're gonna ask you like, who'd you get your blue belt under? And like you might be the only person that they ever encounter who's associated with that instructor. So like their opinion of that gym, that lineage, even like your instructor's instructor could be formed by how you do as a blue belt.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, because you're right. If you wipe the floor with a blue belt and you're a white belt, you're going to be like, what the fuck? This guy in my gym, this guy would have, absolutely ripped my head off. No worries. But here, it feels like he's like a two-stripe white belt. And I've noticed that as well. I've like, when I was in Queensland briefly, I just did a little class there just to suss it and feel it out. And yeah, it was like I was hitting the most basic scissor sweeps on blue belts, like the most telegraphed, obvious, non-fancy, just straight over. And I was kind of like, I don't know, I feel like, Dan from my gym would have saw that, laughed at me and just passed my ass like straight away. Like, he's like, how dare you even attempt this, peasant? Just spat on me.
Scissor sweep me. Oh, man.
But yeah, no, that's a good way to point it. It's the reputation. Because yeah, if you're a white belt and someone fucks you up, it doesn't matter. You're a white belt.
Yeah.
But a blue belt is almost like a certificate of competency. And if you're actually incompetent, then it's like, who the fuck gave you that certificate?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been weird since I've moved down to Texas. I'm training at a gym called Brazilian Fight Factory, and they have a lot of like very, very like top tier level players, like ADCC champs. And it's kind of weird to go in and be like, all right, I'm a brown belt from like another good school, right? With other, but like only our head instructor does like those top tier competitions. And so for me, I'm always just like, one, I'm surprised at how fast they, even like some of their blue belts they're not like universally, like their whole game on average is like blue belt, but they'll have like one or two areas where they're just like senior purple belts. Like I had some blue belt just totally get me tangled up in a lasso, and I was like, I have to work really hard to clear this blue belt's lasso. Like this shouldn't be, you know, I should be just whipping this by and passing into half guard or passing into side control. And I'm like, is this a reflection of my training? But then I watched the other brown belts and I realized like, no, this is just sort of how this gym is. Like it's just a lot tighter. The spaces between like blue, purple, brown, like they're just, some gyms I think just either wait a long time, or it's like the learning curve is just so steep because of how good the rest of the room is that you just have to like evolve or die, right? And so so it's definitely weird being like, okay, I'm coming into the brand new gym as like a brown belt, and to be like, all right, I'm carrying my instructor's like reputation sort of on my shoulders, right?
Yeah. It does definitely get to a point though where once I guess you kind of know all the foundations, you've got your own little game, you've got your own little stuff going on. Eventually, even a black belt won't just like, delete you in 1 second. They're like, okay, this guy's like got the powerful fundamental defense, fundamental stuff. I can't just like click my fingers and get him. Like this has to work. Like I know. So it does, I guess, get to a point where it's not like, once you're not a white belt anymore, you're not just going to fall for all the easy dumb shit. But yeah, it's interesting, the plethora of standard and whatnot.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny too. There's always more dumb shit. Like for me, in some of these like advanced leg lock games, like beyond just like what do they call it, the inside Senkaku like saddle or whatever, like that next level of like inverted stuff, and I'm just like, where am I here? Like, I'm almost like reluctant to defend it because I'm just like, okay, think, Paul, like, do I turn belly down? Do I turn counterclockwise? Like, one of these ways will rip my ankle out of my socket, and one of these ways will like relieve the pressure of this heel hook.
And sometimes you're like, does he want me to defend, which will just open up another attack? Like, if I stay completely still, will it confuse him? Like I don't know how to attack like the top tier belts in my gym. Like I don't have a game plan. They'll sit on their ass and they'll have their hands like this and their legs ready. And I'm like, dude, I don't even want to fucking try and pass you right now because I know you want me to try and pass you and you're gonna do something. So I don't know what the fuck to do, but that's part of the fun. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, all right, mate. I gotta smash out some work today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there anything you wanted to? Any last questions, comments?
No, I appreciate you taking the time, man. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun talking to you. I do appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, no stress. It was good. Usually when people are like, hey man, do you want to like do a podcast? I'm like, oh, what's your podcast? And they'll have like 3 viewers, and I'll be like, oh, maybe not. Like, no, it was good. No, I'm keen to see this up, and once it's ready, send it over. I'll post it on my channels as well, and if people that are keen can go watch it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be great. All right. Well, that's all I have. I like, subscribe, comment down below if you have other guests. I don't know, anything you want to shout out?
Just $1 per month. You can get unlimited hentai on my page.
We'll put the link in the description. All it says is Patreon, right?
It's, you have to be 18 plus. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, easy, mate. All right,
thanks for that. Thanks a lot, man. Take it easy.
Take care.